All right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So for today's Never Miss Monday workout, we've got a nice 4-rounder for you here. We're going to be doing 4 rounds of 15 calories on the row, 10 handstand push-ups, and 5 hang power cleans. And we may be looking at this thinking, he wants me to do what? The handstand? Don't worry, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it, right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up. Here we go, guys. Let's get some arm circles going back. Arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I am a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you live their best life through health and fitness. Let's switch to arm circles forward. One of the ways I've been privileged to help you guys live your best life is through the On Track membership. And when you get on track, you get a whole lot of benefits, especially depending on which level of on track membership that we sign up for. We can potentially get all the workouts in advance. We get additional workouts, up to 6 workouts a week. We get access to the Habit Master program. And so there's definitely a whole lot in there that'll help us to reach our goals. So if you're on track, what do you appreciate the most about all of these additional on-track features? Let's go ahead and move on to arms across the chest. Hug yourself, love yourself. And let's hear first from Bubbles. Go ahead, Bubbles, say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate the most about these additional on-track features?
Hi, I'm Nikia from New York. I like getting all the information in advance. It helps me prepare my mind and also my space, and know what I need for each workout. But one of the fun things about the week is getting together to work out with everyone else. So Throwdown Tuesdays is amazing. Being able to sweat with each other and like push each other, and it is a really, really good workout personally, but also very encouraging to each other when we're working out as teams.
And Throwdown Tuesday is definitely a highlight of the week for me as well. So thanks for bringing that up, Bubbles. Let's go ahead and move on to the wrist wave here. And while we're doing the wrist wave, let's hear from Bird Dog. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate about all of these additional on-track features?
Hi, I'm Robin. I'm from Texas. I love as well getting the sheet up front. I'm such a planner. And so this really just gets my mind right on Monday for the week. And so I just really enjoy having that. I too participate in Throwdown Tuesdays when I can. And that group dynamic just really sets the tone for the rest of the week.
Most definitely. So thank you so much, Bird Dog. Let's go ahead and move on to some high knees. High knees into chest. Or if it works better, we could do some high elbows like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from V. Go ahead, V, say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate about these on-track sheets?
Hi, I'm V. I'm in Maryland, and I also really, really love the team workouts. I love all the workouts, and being able to see what the lineup is. I've been playing sports since I could walk, and like team sports, so getting together and having a team is so fun. So it's definitely a highlight, but all the workouts are a lot of fun to look ahead and plan your week out.
Nothing like some shared suffering together on a team. So thank you so much, V. Let's go ahead and move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or if it works better, we can do some wrist extensions like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Twin One. Go ahead, say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate about these on-track sheets?
Hi, I'm Denise. I'm in New York. I really love all the workouts that we get on the on-track sheets because it's like 6 days worth of workouts when I started doing all 6 days instead of I used to do just 3, it definitely upped my game, and I was able to get stronger, and I started feeling better as well. It definitely improves my mood. So getting those extra workouts and also going heavy on some of the other WODs that we get on there as well. So I really, really appreciate the on track sheet because it got me on track, that's for sure, and it continues to get me stronger and healthier.
Very well said, and thank you for bringing out all the different aspects of the programs. Lots of different types of workouts, sometimes heavy days, sometimes more cardio days, but when we are consistent all around, that's when we develop the fullest expression of our fitness. Let's go ahead and move on to some jumping jacks, or we could do some stepping jacks if we want low impact. And so when we get on track, we get access to the full program, the 6 workouts a week, the Habit Master Challenge, all of these additional tools and additional accountability from our On Track family. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, please click that link that's in this video, or feel free to message me directly for details. We're going to take a break from the warm-up, guys, and now we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple of different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. The first thing we're going to do is some bird dogs. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 bird dogs for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the bird dogs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 bird dogs together. Now, it could be that doing the bird dog off of our hands and knees is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we could choose to do the dead bug. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate a couple reps of the dead bug here. And that's basically an upside down bird dog. We've got the arms and the knees in the air, and we're going to lower opposite arm, opposite leg. But if we're doing the bird dog as prescribed, then we're on hands and knees, and we are raising opposite arm, opposite leg, holding the top there for about 2 seconds before switching sides. So good job on these bird dogs. Next, we're going to do some walk the floors, and let's go ahead and have V demonstrate 1 walk the floor for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the walk the floor is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 5 walk the floors together. Now, it could be that doing this all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we may choose to do the walk the floor just down to the plank position. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate a rep here, where we would walk our hands just down into that plank, and then we'll walk them back and stand up to finish at the top. Or it could be that we need to do this off of an inclined surface. So we'll start with our feet up against a counter or a dresser or a sofa, and we'll take a couple steps back and then step forward, and then we will clap overhead. But if we're doing this to the ground as prescribed, we're getting all the way down, chest and thighs on the ground, taking a deep breath in to brace that core, leading with the hips on the way back up. And so good job here on these walk the floors. Next, what I'd like everyone to do is let's go ahead and grab a broomstick or a mop or a PVC pipe. If you don't have the PVC pipe, all the cool kids are getting them. Let's go ahead and join this PVC team. But we're going to do some additional shoulder warm-up And we always start light before we go heavy, if at all. So nothing heavier than a broomstick right now. With the broomstick in hand, we're going to do some pass-throughs, and let's go ahead and have Bird Dog demonstrate 2 pass-throughs for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the pass-throughs are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in, and we're going to do 10 pass-throughs together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got a nice wide grip on that broomstick, and we're going to pull it up and over all the way around, touching that lower back in the back and belly button in the front. And we want to have a nice pass-through smile there, which is going to relax those muscles and help us to have a nice fluid range of motion. And so good job here on these pass-throughs. Next, we're going to do some deadlifts. Let's go ahead and have twin 1. First, how are we holding this bar? Let's have twin 1 show us that hook grip. So we've got the thumb wrapped around, fingers over the thumb. And let's see 2 deadlifts. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then those deadlifts, with the hook grip, of course, are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in, and let's do 10 deadlifts together. So a couple things to keep in mind. At the start of the deadlift, those hips are going to be super low, feet close together underneath the hips. We've got the chest up, shoulders back. We're looking straight ahead. And then we're going to take a deep breath in and brace that core as we drive the ground away until we get to a fully standing, locked out position with the shoulders back at the top. And then, of course, we're going to stay braced on the way back down as well. And so good job here on these deadlifts. Next, we're going to do some clean pulls. Let's go ahead and have twin 1 demonstrate 2 clean pulls for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then the clean pulls are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in, and let's do 10 clean pulls together. So a couple things to keep in mind. That clean pull is the same basic movement pattern as the deadlift, except we're going to add some speed past the knees. We're starting low, and then as soon as that bar reaches the knees, we are going to glute bridge and shrug so that we can get some explosive lift there. And so nice and controlled until about the knee level. And then at the knees, boom, we are exploding, getting that bar flying with the power of the legs. And on that note, notice there's still no bend in the arms there. This is definitely a leg and a glute-based thing. And so good job here on these clean pulls. Next, we're going to do some strict press. Let's go ahead and have V demonstrate the strict press for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in, and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got a nice firm grip on that broomstick, and hands right outside the shoulders, elbows up. And we're going to take a deep breath in, and we're going to press that bar back as we press the head forward. And we're going to get those biceps into the ears at the top. And then on the way back down, we want to keep those elbows nice and high as well. And so good job here on the strict press. And finally, here in the activation phase, we're going to do some push press. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the push press for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the push press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the push press together. And so the push press is just like the strict press, except we're going to get some help from the hips and the legs to get this bar overhead. And so we're starting the same way, feet underneath the hips, elbows up, and we're going to initiate by bending the hips and the knees. And we want to keep the chest nice and upright. If we bend just the knees, we're going to lean back. If we bend just the hips, we're going to bend forward. So that's why we want to have equal bend of both the hips and the knees, keeping that chest upright so we can drive nice and vertical, pressing that out overhead. And so good job here on the push press. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the 3 moves that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be the row. So if you happen to have a rower, what I'd like you to do is hop on that rower right now, and we're going to do a 1-minute test, and you're going to see how many calories you get in that minute. If your rower measures output by calories, whatever output that your rower measures in, let's figure out what that is. And we're going to row for 1 minute. But most of us don't have these machines. We're the machines. We're going to do an at-home modification that preserves the stimulus of pulling on that rower handle. We're going to do some kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls. So what I'd like you to do is let's go ahead and grab a light kettlebell if you have one. That means 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. If we don't have a light kettlebell, then anything light will do, preferably something with a handle today. So it could be an empty laundry detergent jug, an empty water jug, an empty purse. And if we don't have anything like that, it could be literally anything else. It could be a pillow, a teddy bear, a shoe, a light dumbbell if we have it. So with this light kettlebell in hand, let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the sumo deadlift high pull for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that sumo deadlift high pull is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 reps of the sumo deadlift high pull together. So a couple things to keep in mind at the start of the movement. That object is going to be on the ground in between the feet, and we're going to have those hips super low. And then we're going to take a deep breath in and drive the ground away, getting to a fully standing position with those legs before we pull with the arms. So very important that we do legs first, then arms. This is what's called the core to extremity principle. The legs are stronger to get the movement going, and we want to finish. We want to wait until the end to move with those arms. So finish that stand first, then pull with the arms at the end. That's going to give us more power through the movement. So good job here on these sumo deadlift high pulls. The second move that we are doing in today's workout is handstand push-ups. And so to demonstrate, here is a handstand push-up. So as you can see, that's a very high skill movement. And if you've never kicked up into a handstand before, then please, let's only do this in the presence of a coach in a private session. We're going to go through some progressions that will help you to get to that point and also be good options for us in today's workout. So the first thing could be just regular push-ups. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 push-ups for us. And it could be that doing this off the ground is a bit of a challenge, in which case we could choose to do this off of the incline. And those incline push-ups will look like this. Now, as you feel comfortable doing push-ups off the ground, then perhaps we can kick it up a notch and do some box assisted push-ups, either with a chair or with a box or something along those lines, maybe even a bench. And that would be where we get our knees up onto that object. And we pike those hips up into the air, getting the hands as close as we can to that chair or whatever the object is. And let's actually pike those hips up even more there, twin one, just so that we can see. We want to get those hips super high. There we go. And get that head flat on the ground. And yeah, we can take it up a notch by piking off the feet. And that's yet another option there. Now, as you feel comfortable doing these push-ups off of the feet or off the knees, then we can possibly start to get upside down and do some handstands if we've been coached in private sessions. And what I'd like you to do after having done a couple push-ups off the ground is to get a couple handstand kick-ups. And then maybe with some assistance, as we see, we've got a pillow on top of some plates there. We could do some assisted handstand push-ups and then possibly get lower and lower. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then what I'd like us to do is actually grab a couple light dumbbells. And for today, we're going to do some overhead press with the dumbbells like this from the seated position. Alternatively, if you have a chair with handles on it, then we could do some dips, pressing up like this, and then getting those arms to full lockout before coming back down. So let's everybody do 10 practice reps. If you haven't done those push-ups yet off the ground or off the incline, then let's definitely start with those incline push-ups there. And so we definitely want to pick an option that is good for us. And if we happen not to have a chair or a box that we can do the push-ups off of, then another option is what we see Bird Dog doing here. We have the straddle pike push-ups where we've got those feet nice and wide and we can lower our head to the ground and push up. And that's yet another progression that we can choose to do. Maybe we're not comfortable getting our knees or our feet up onto a chair, but this is yet another option if that's good for us. But all these other options should definitely only be after we feel comfortable doing push-ups off the ground. And so if we're still working on our push-ups off the ground or still doing some incline push-ups, then let's definitely stick with that. But then we can experiment with either the straddle pike or the assisted push-ups with the knees on the chair as well, as we feel comfortable. The third move that we're doing in today's workout is the hang power clean. So let's go ahead and grab that broomstick again, and we're going to demonstrate some hang power cleans. And so to demonstrate the hang power clean, let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate a couple hang power cleans for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the hang power clean is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 hang power cleans together. So a couple things to keep in mind. We've got that nice hook grip on the bar. And at the start of the hang power clean, we are going to lower that bar to the knees. We're going to have the chest up, shoulders back, and we're going to jump that bar up to the shoulders, fast with the hips, fast with the elbows, and then standing to finish. And it could be that, hey, this is a lot of jumping and landing. And so if we want to, we can do what's called the muscle clean. Let's have twin one demonstrate a couple reps here. So the same starting and finishing position without that jump and the land. So it starts at the knees and then boom, we flip those elbows to get it nice and high. And then just one more detail, whether we're doing the muscle clean or the hang power clean, the rep starts from the hang position, meaning when you first pick up that bar off the ground, what we need to do is lock out that deadlift and then re-lower the bar back down to the knees. Do you mind showing twin one there? So we lock out that deadlift, then we lower it back down to the knees, and that's where we can start to cycle that out. Well, now it's wrap up time. If you've been doing this program long enough to start earning badges and you'd like to add some weight to do either the scaled intermediate or RX weight on those hang power cleans, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing about 3 to 5 reps at a time, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for our division. And there's no need to rush this. We've got plenty of time for you to hit at least 3 to 5 practice sets, adding a little bit of weight each time until you get to the weight that you want to use. Now, if we have not been earning badges, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. This super light weight that we were just using in the warm-up is going to be more than enough for us today. Seriously. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency, not just with the workouts, but with all of our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge, before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. And let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important. Your taste in music is way better than mine. I can guarantee it. So what's the music that's going to get you pumped? That's going to get you motivated to get through these 4 rounds. Get that playlist queued up. You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? This is a 4-round workout. Those rounds are going to be flying. It's easy to lose track of where we are, who we are, what we're doing. So let's have some type of system in place to keep track of our progress. And something that helps with that is having the workout written down close by. So if you're a teacher's pet like Bubbles, first to the screen with the whiteboard today, Mighty Mouse, very close, second place. And we've got Bird Dog as well, ready with the trusty little whiteboard. I know everyone's ready to go, right? Let's go ahead and take this teacher's pet picture. We've got Twin One over there. We got Deb as well. And then, of course, we got V. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time here, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we're going to start this timer, and we're about to do this Never Miss Monday workout, which is 4 rounds, 15 calories on the row, 10 handstand push-ups, and 5 hang power cleans. So whatever you just got on that 1-minute row test, if you happen to have a rower, let's use that number, or maybe even a little bit less, for each round of the row in today's workout. And that's how we can appropriately scale that row. But otherwise, if we're doing those kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls, then we're going to start off each round with 15 of those for the 15-calorie row. For the handstand push-ups, please, let's pick a safe option. If we're still working on our push-ups from the ground or off the incline, we can just do those push-ups. But if we feel comfortable doing either the straddle pike push-up or the box-assisted push-up with the feet or knees on the box, we can choose to do those if we have lots of experience under our belt doing the regular push-ups. And let's not kick up into handstands unless we've been coached in private sessions. And then, of course, we got the hang power cleans. Let's challenge ourselves to hit all 5 in a row without putting that bar down. And let's remember to lock out that deadlift first before relowering it back down to the knees and cycling out all 5. So your score is going to be the time it takes you to get through these 4 rounds of 15 kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls, 10 push-ups, challenging yourself appropriately, and 5 hang power cleans. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this going. I'm going to give us our 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight Twin One to get us going. So here we go, guys. 15 kettlebell sumo deadlift high pulls, 10 push-ups, 5 hang power cleans. Starting in 10 seconds. Get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on the kettlebell sumo deadlift high pull, which is a really good analog for the row. As you can see, we're pulling that handle all the way up to the upper part of the chest. And if we were on the rower, we'd be doing the same, hitting that with the legs, finishing with the arms at the top. And so we see the analog to these movements. So a nice work here. After the 15 of those, we are then hitting 10 of the handstand push-ups, or whatever version of the push-up is better for us. So we got Deb hitting some incline push-ups over there. We've got Mighty Mouse hitting some stand-up dips. Look at how high, getting that full lockout at the top. And we got Bubbles hitting some incline push-ups as well. And Twin One already onto that bar. And so let's get those fast hips, fast elbows, getting those elbows nice and high at the top. And twin one definitely flew through that first round. I'd say let's challenge yourself on the handstand push-ups in the second round there. I know you can go a little bit lower on that. And so let's see if we can lower that level of assistance. V finishing off some assisted push-ups, about to hit some cleans. We got bird dog on these cleans. We got Bubbles locking out that deadlift, and then boom, hitting these cleans, standing up to finish. So awesome work here, guys. Most of us through round one on track to finish within today's target window. And these target windows are the best guide to challenge ourselves appropriately and to measure our progress. And as we go through this program, we start to use heavier weights and more challenging options. But as long as we're finishing within the target window, that's how we know we've hit the mark for today's workout. And those handstand push-ups look sufficiently challenging there, twin one. Those are what it should look like. We got Bubbles finishing off this row for round two. The kettlebell smooth deadlift high pulls. Bird dog as well. V as well. Mighty Mouse getting super high on those dips. But nice work here, guys. Making our way through round two. We got Bird Dog doing some straddle pike push-ups here. So all the way down, head on the ground, pushing that back. If you choose to do the straddle pike push-up off the ground, notice how Bird Dog is rolling forward, then pushing back. That's what you want to think about, because that's how you're going to get more the full range of motion. So it's not necessarily about like a head bob thing. It's actually much more about rolling that head all the way through, getting it to the ground, and then pushing that back. And then there goes Bird Dog. Let's get faster elbows, higher elbows. And there we go on those cleans. V as well, locking out that bar, and then boom, heading for those cleans. And let's get more vertical there, V. So those hips are going forward. Let's get those hips up. There you go, much better. And then standing to finish. So a number of us onto round three. We're finishing round two. As we know in this program, we have lots of different types of workouts. Some workouts are longer, some workouts are shorter, but they all help us to be well-rounded and to be ready for whatever life throws at us. Sometimes we need to be ready for a short, fast, intense effort. Sometimes it's a little bit longer. But either way, if we approach it with the right intensity, short and simple does not mean easy. We got twin one going into this next set of handstand push-ups. And so as you push there, twin one, let's remember to push that head through just like you would with the barbell, just like we were practicing in the activation phase. And so think of it like a strict press. Pushing that head through, locking it out at the top of the press. Doing much better. Down, pushing that head through. Getting there, getting there. Take a couple breaths, right back up. Be doing some assisted push-ups there. And notice how V has been doing this for a while off the chair, and then she added some height for additional challenge, or perhaps even for knee comfort. That might be what it is. But the intended or unintended effect of that is that it adds a little bit of height, adds a little bit more challenge to that handstand push-up variation. So there's definitely all the way, lots of different ways to continue to challenge ourselves with these movements. And you're hitting that extension real good, Bird Dog. Let's hit that jump, and let's land more in a little bit of a squat. Let's jump, sit, and stand. jump, sit. There we go, much better. And we'll with the fast elbows. So let's get those elbows super fast. Jump, flip and sit. That was much better. And we are almost done here. Most of us finishing out round 3, heading into round 4. And we know what to do when we finish. We hit that buzzer, we yell time. We cheer on our family. This is what makes us different. This is what makes us consistent. This is what makes us encourage one another. We are all in this together. So let's get through this row. Let's get through these push-ups. Let's get through this last set of cleans. What you might want to do, Twin One, is make sure you have a good idea where your hands are going to go before the kick up, and then just touch and push. We don't want to hang out at the bottom too long. Just touch and push. Getting there. We got Deb on what looks like the last set of cleans, and there she goes on that victory dance. Great work there, Deb. Mighty Mouse looks like she's almost there as well. And there goes Mighty Mouse across the finish line. We got Bubbles on what looks like this last row. We got Bird Dog on these last push-ups here. Let's cheer each other on, guys. V almost there. Stand up to finish. Make sure you stand those cleans. Stand it up. Stand it up.
You got this, guys. You got it.
Nice
And
job.
there goes V. We got Twin One.
Coach D. Nice job, Mom.
Hitting that hip, hitting that flip, standing that up to finish. And there goes Twin One. Bird Dog almost done. And there goes Bird Dog across the finish line. And let's cheer on Bubbles. Just a couple more cleans.
Hustle for those muscles, girl.
Oh, there she goes.
Nice clean.
Nice.
Nice.
Hitting that hip,
Nice.
hitting that flip.
Nice job.
And let's do it, Bubbles. Here we go. Here we go. Nice. And there goes Bubbles. Well, I'll tell you what, guys. That was super exciting, super awesome. But now we're at the best part, which is the cool down stretch. This stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch we're going to do today is the seal stretch. And this is going to be where we're laying face down, and we are going to push up like this, letting those hips sink into the ground. Alternatively, if that's hard on the hands, we could do this off the elbow like this. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we're going to get those arms up and pull back like this. And while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch. Let's go from the seal into the frog. So we're going to get those knees out to the side, open that up, open up those hips like this. And while we're doing this, let's see if we can hear from Twin One. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get those hands on the shoulder blades and pull back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Twin One?
So my high were the two model high pulls. The low was the handstand push-up. Buffalo was, whew, that was spicy. It woke me up. I was really dragging, and it got my blood to rush and got things going.
Better than a shot of espresso, right? But good job there, Twin One, and good job working on those handstand push-ups. We're getting lower and lower every day. Let's go ahead and move on to supine twists. So we've got one knee into the chest, and we are twisting, pulling down with that opposite hand. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Bird Dog. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to twist toward the right, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Bird Dog?
I would have to say my high was the incline push-ups. I mean well, I don't know what they're called, the other push-ups from the ground. I like those because I usually do the incline, so that I felt some different muscle groups being used there, and I like that, challenging myself a little bit that way. My low would probably be the hang power cleans. If you coached me a little bit, I appreciate that. I obviously need a little more practice. And my buffalo was, I was really impressed that the stamina. This workout was good. I almost could have done another round, but I'm glad it ended at 4.
Yeah, good job there. And that's exactly what we wanted today. Just enough rounds for you to try something new as far as the push-ups are concerned. And we sprinkle in some high level, some more challenging movements like that appropriately. So let's go ahead and hit supine twist on the other side. We got the other knee into the chest, and then we are twisting the other way, pulling down with that opposite hand. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Deb. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're twisting toward the left, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Deb?
So my high were the cleans. They were the cleans. I really like that move. I think it's very classy, it's a nice move with the so that was my high. I had a lower weight than I wanted to, but it was still a pretty move. So that was my high. My low were the push-ups. I don't care what level of push-up you do. It's hard. Like I'm sweating, I'm perspiring. Like they were, and I did more of an incline than I usually do. And I was like, what in the world? But yeah, so that was my low. The buffalo were the sumo deadlift high pulls. Like I did, my counter. So I was like 15, 4 rounds. Come on. But I got it done, and it was good. So thanks, coach. Always a good workout.
And always appreciate you making some smart choices as well. Consistency is key. Sometimes our circumstances require us to make certain choices in loading and in movement options, but as long as we show up and keep moving, then movement is medicine, and you're a great example of that. Well, that's our WOD, that's our stretch, that's our high-low buffalo. Let's go ahead and hit this sweaty selfie, because does this count if we don't take this selfie? Let's flex on the camera here, guys, and let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fist in the middle for the cheer. So on 3, 2 claps, fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Big crew.
Big crew.
Big crew and
Thank you guys so much. If you enjoyed this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.